morning students. Now I am going to continue fourth chapter. In that I am going to start with Rutherford's atomic model. So on the basis of the observation of Rutherford, he said that what he said about his atomic model, he said that an atom consists of a small and dense positively charged region in the center. He said that in the center one dense and positively charged region is there, okay, that is called nucleus. Okay, he said that. Second thing, he said that the nucleus contains protons and neutrons. He said that in the nucleus protons and neutrons are present. He said that the entire mass of the atom is, whole mass of atom is in the nucleus only. Next point, he said that the size of the nucleus is very small. Size of nucleus is small, okay, compared to the size of the atom. Okay. Next point, he said that there is a lot of empty space around the nucleus. Lot of empty space around the nucleus. Okay. Next point, he said that electrons revolve round the nucleus in orbit or shells at extremely high speed. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in their orbits at a very high speed. Okay. So if the electrons were not moving, suppose it is the atom, okay, it is the nucleus and these are the orbits. In that orbits only electrons are moving. Okay, suppose this one is one atom, okay, this one is nucleus, and around the nucleus so many orbits are there, okay, so many paths are there. In that only electrons are moving at a very fast speed. Suppose these electrons are not moving, they fixed at one place. So what can be happen? So if they were stationary, okay, stationary means not moving, if they were fixed, they would be attracted towards the nucleus. Okay, they would be attracted towards the nucleus. Why? Because electron is negatively charged and in the nucleus proton is there, that is why nucleus is positive charge. So opposite charges attracted towards each other. So that is why if the electrons were not moving, if they fixed at one place, they would be attracted towards the nucleus because of the electrostatic force of attraction between protons and electron. Okay, because of electrostatic force of attraction between protons and electrons, because you know that opposite charges always attracted towards each other. So this point also he said. In the last point he said that in an atom the number of electron is equal to the number of proton. Number of electron is equal to number of protons. Okay, he said that. Okay, thus an atom is always electrically neutral. Okay, because the number of electrons and number of protons are equal, that is why it is electrically neutral. So these points he said. Now some drawbacks were there. Okay, Rutherford compared his atomic model with the solar system. Okay, with the solar system. He compared his atomic model with the solar system. Just as in the solar system, the sun has the maximum mass and the planets revolve around it. I think all all of you know about the solar system. In the solar system, the sun is at the center. The sun is having the whole mass and all the planets were revolving around it. Similarly, in an atom also, the nucleus has the main mass and the electrons revolve around it. So these all about Rutherford's atomic model. Now, what are the minus point in the Rutherford's atomic model? In Rutherford's atomic model, he said that electrons revolve at a very high speed in the circular orbits around the positively charged nucleus. He said that according to Rutherford's atomic model, he said that electrons revolve around the nucleus in the orbits at a very high speed. Okay. However, according to the electromagnetic force, according to the electromagnetic theory, if a charged particle was accelerated, if a charged particle was revolving, okay, accelerated means moving, okay, moving around another charge, okay, this one is negative charge and this negative charge is moving around the positive charge. So according to electromagnetic theory, if a charged particle was continuing moving around the another charge, that particle, then there would be continuous loss of energy. Okay, this is about electromagnetic theory is saying that if any charged particle is continuously revolve around another charged particle, so there will be continuous loss of energy of that particle which is revolving, okay, for that particle which is revolving. So the loss of energy would slow down the speed of this electron and at last the electron can fall into the nucleus. Okay, if there is a continuous loss of energy while moving around this particle, okay, of this electron, so at last the energy will be finished and this electron can be fall in the nucleus. So however, such a collapse does not occur. Okay, such a collapse is not possible in the atom. So that is why Rutherford's model was not able to explain the stability of an atom. Stability of atom. Rutherford's atomic model was unable to explain the stability of atom. So this was the main drawbacks of Rutherford's atomic model. He said that electrons are continuing revolve around the nucleus in the orbits at a very high speed. If according to Rutherford, if it is true that, so according to electromagnetic theory, if any charged particle is revolving around another charged particle, there will be continuous loss of energy for that particle which is moving around. So if it is happening, so it means that for continuing moving, the electron is losing its energy and at last it can be fall into the nucleus. But it is not possible. Okay, such of the collapse is not possible. It doesn't occur in the atom. So that is why Rutherford's atomic model is totally failed to explain the stability of an atom. Okay, now one new scientist came. Okay, his name was Bohr. Okay, he gave his theory, okay, for atoms. So what he said in his model, Bohr's atomic model. Bohr's atomic model. So according to his theory, what he said? He said that, okay, in 1913, a Danish physicist Niels Bohr proposed improvements in Rutherford's atomic model. He saw that he observed the Rutherford's atomic model and he improved in that model also only. Okay, so according to his atomic model, what he observed, he said that the nucleus is situated at the center of the atom. He also said that nucleus is in the center only. He also agreed, okay, it contains protons and neutrons. It contains protons and neutrons, and these protons and neutrons collectively known as nucleons. collectively known as nucleons. So it contains protons and neutrons, and collectively these both are known as nucleons. Okay. So the entire mass and the positive charge of an atom is concentrated in the nucleus. He also agreed that the entire mass is present in the entire mass is present in nucleus only. Present in nucleus only. Okay. Next point, he said that the electron revolve around the nucleus in fixed circular paths called orbit. He said that suppose it is an atom, okay, nucleus is there, okay, around the nucleus some fixed paths are there, some orbits are there, and in the fixed paths only these electrons are revolving. Okay, and these paths are only called orbits or shell. Okay, these paths are called orbit or shell. Okay. In his next point, he said that each orbit or shell is associated with a fixed amount of energy. Each orbit is having fixed energy. Fixed energy. Okay. According to his atomic model, each orbit or shell is associated with a fixed amount of energy, and these orbits are also known as, so that is why these orbits are also known as energy levels. These orbits are also known as energy levels because in each orbit there is a fixed amount of energy. Okay. The shell nearest to the nucleus has the minimum energy, and the shell farthest from the nucleus has the maximum energy. Suppose it is an atom, okay, nucleus, the shell which is very close to the nucleus, it is having minimum energy, and the shell which is farthest from the nucleus, it is having the maximum energy. Remember it, okay, maximum energy. So the shell nearest to the nucleus has the minimum energy, and the shell farthest from the nucleus has the maximum energy. Now the next point, what is his next point? In his next point he said that the energy levels are represented in two ways. Energy levels are represented in two ways. Okay, either in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, or in the form of by the letters K, L, M, N, O. Okay, so suppose it is an atom, nucleus, orbits are there, one more, this one is the fourth one, third, fourth. Okay, so these are the orbits. Suppose it is a nucleus, so you can represent these orbits, okay, by two ways. Okay, this is the first one, so this is 1, this one is 2, this one is 4, this one is 3, this one is 4, or you can represent it by the letters also. Okay, first one is the K, okay, then L, then M, then N, and likewise. Okay, so you can represent the energy levels by the numbers also and by the letters also. This is positively charged because it is a nucleus. Nucleus is having the protons. Okay, proton is having positive charge. That is why nucleus is also positive charge. There is no change in the energy of electrons as long as they keep revolving in the same energy level. There is no change of energy, okay, for the electrons as long as they keep moving in the same energy level. In this case, the inward force of attraction exerted by the nucleus is balanced by the outward force of attraction exerted by the electrons, which prevents the electrons from falling into the nucleus and makes the atoms structurally stable. Okay, because when the electrons are moving in the energy level, they are not changing the their energies. So that is why the inward force of attraction is balanced by the outward force of attraction. Okay, so that is why there is no chance for the electrons to fall in the nucleus, and that is why the atom is stable now. Okay, there is no chance for electrons to fall in the nucleus because the inward force of attraction is balanced by outward force of attraction. Okay, because when the electron is moving in the energy level, there is no change in the energy. Neither energy is losing, neither energy is gaining. So there is no change of energy for the electron. So there is no chance for the electrons to fall in the nucleus. Okay, because the inward force of attraction is balanced by the outward force of attraction, and at last the atom is stable. Okay, and electron can move to a higher or a lower energy level. Electron can move to a lower energy level also, or it can move in a higher energy level also. When an electron jumps from a lower energy level to a higher one, some energy is absorbed. Okay, when an electron jumps from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, some energy absorbs. Similarly, when an electrons jumps from higher energy level to a lower energy level, some energy is released. So in this way the amount of the energy is balanced. Okay, so that is why the atom is structurally stable. So these were the points of Bohr's atomic model. Okay, you have to read the Rutherford's atomic model, Thomson's atomic model, okay, the drawbacks of the Rutherford's atomic model and the Bohr's atomic model. I hope you understood. Thank you so much.